Paul Mwiru, you've been everywhere and everywhere. And if I may, FDC, UID, FDC, ANT, NUP, where are you headed next? Any chance you'll go yellow?
Well, first, it's not correct that I've ever been a member of UID or DP. I was a member, my first party was a Forum for Democratic Change. I moved to ANT, now I'm a National Unity Platform. I thought I should make that very clear.
Okay. And any chance you'll go yellow or NUP and that's it?
There is no chance actually of going yellow.
So NUP is your last political party?
Well, there's no chance of going yellow.
Okay. I like that you don't make it clear that NUP is your last. But what pushes you to move from one place to the next?
Well, first, I think I don't want even to tag it to me as an individual. What I've witnessed is that the population shifts. The population has been shifting and the leaders have also been shifting. Okay. That's one. The other, like in my case, it was the reconcilable difference in terms of strategy on how we thought that actually the party had to go. And our colleagues took a different path and we also took a different path. That was in the case of FDC. I think in the case of ANT, I reserved my reasons and I'll still reserve them for the fact that I didn't want to delve into them. I think since they are not here to say anything, I'll reserve those reasons. But again, the other... That's
class from you. And,
yes,
and some people don't trust people who move from one political party to the next. Do you think they should be trusted?
First, it is also up to the leaders themselves as to why do people even join these political parties to start with. Once that is understood, then the question of whether people should be trusted or not, that also becomes into issue. Of course, when you look at the political parties as they are today, the reason is as to why people are in them, apparently, is that people think that we have shared values which we should be fighting for. But apparently there is now a stumbling block in terms of Mr. Museveni now as the president. But the population as actually it stands in their mind is that actually the first thing to do is first remove the stumbling block, then you go and play politics later. So even some of those reasons as advanced by scholars, by people who have not been actually participating is that the real participant in the real politics, the reasons are very, very different. I'll give an example. I've seen, for instance, when we left FDC, we all agreed that actually there is a problem. There's a difference in the way we think we should approach actually the cause. And we debated, what should we do? Should we stay around and fight from within? Then we said, wasn't that disrupt the process? If we are right, then the public will know. We need to embrace those who have taken power, and that's the case that was on Bamliat. We give space. But of course, we warned that if the issues why we have left are not addressed, there will be another fallout by another group. You understand? Mean that there were valid reasons, they still existed, and we have been actually proved right. Okay. So actually, I would be, when I moved from FDC and then moved, people kept on actually yelling over that issue. And I think we were vindicated by the fact that even after we had moved, even those who were criticizing moving themselves, they actually moved away. Okay. So the question would have turned to them, why do people actually move? But the other issue again, there are also people who seek offices, say, that they will look for the vantage point. I say, if I'm in this party, in this area, maybe I'll actually take. But for my case, you remember even the other time, I contested under a new party and I won an election, though I was cheated. Okay. But at least the numbers are there, as we were talking about them about before, that actually I won.
The question I want to ask last, maybe it's easier to understand people moving from the party in power to the party in the opposition, maybe from in opposition to the party in power. You talked about offices there. But how do you explain moving from one opposition political party to another opposition political party when they are all involved in what you are calling removing of the stumbling block?
Of course, for instance, like by my experience in politics, I think there are avoidable mistakes which we can avoid in these political parties because we have been there, we have seen these mistakes being done. And even when you are in these political parties also, you can see a mistake actually coming to the actual one, the way people have been making. Some people don't want to fight on. They wish the organization well and then actually just move. Others would actually be wanting to fight in. Then at times even the focus change. Because if I ask most of these political parties now, that when do they talk about the person they want to remove from power? Because I've been watching the space. They keep on insulting, abusing themselves from morning to evening. And they don't even talk about President Museveni, whom they want to move from power. So at the end of the day, if certain mistakes can be avoided, some people have taken a path of actually keeping. I'll give an example, because I've asked me several on this.
Very briefly, yes.
When I moved away from FDC and I went to ANT, I had gone home. I said, I've made my contribution, this is enough. Then my people came and said, look, if you go home when you have been at the front line, it is very unfair. It is like you have been surrendered, maybe you have been compromised. I said, no, I've made my contribution. Let us build someone. People said, no, first come back in the main political party. You have no reason to say, because now there's another political party which is fighting on. Please join, come back on the front line.
Okay.
And in my opinion, I thought it was reasonable, as they had put it, that actually we are putting all our effort. It doesn't actually serve at the young age just to give space and say, this way I've ended. And I bought into the idea.
Thank you very much.